Hi, I'm Sailor Ernest here, and today we're going to talk about something that I think we can talk about. All right. Now, I know that I've been on YouTube for 6 years, and that is a big thing. You know it is. And of course, that might be nothing to someone who's been on YouTube for longer than that. And yes, there could have been folks that go back to when it first started. Now, sadly, that was not the case with me. There were hit and misses. There was the hacking. There was the fakes. There was the, oh, you're forbidden. Well, of course, there were the false flaggings. But I don't really truly know if that was the grounds for this film or not. Alright. So, another thing that someone might usually asks is why no shifting or editing or of any kind? Or no, not. We already talked about that. So how about fair work? Yes. Now, apparently, fair work, or known as fair use, but then used as a Latin borrowed word. So the English word would be fair work, I guess. So anyway, um, it works like this. As long as you're using it for making fun of or, talking about it or giving your thoughts about it or shifting it up, and then it's fair work. But Toby doesn't necessarily see it that way. Now, we have never been in a bind with fair work, or at least with ownership, And for about 6 years, even before that, we never were. Now, I know there's going to be some folks out there saying, oh, well, aren't dolls considered that? No, dolls are made for individual use. So it would be hard to ownership all of them, especially after they have been bought and sold by shops to folks. And so, no. And that's why we never did that. Since Atoly apparently does go around and they do claim things, they do say things are theirs. Now, and we have never done anything. I guess we were lucky back in the day. I'm not saying we not used to. We used to take likenesses of other selfhoods from Sailor Moon, so yeah. But that was as far as it went. And then I guess we were talking over them. And I guess Toei must have been alright with it. Or maybe our channel was maybe our channel was a small channel back then. And hell, our channel's still small now. But for whatever what grounds, we never gotten in a hang up with ownership on YouTube over anything in our films. Now I know there's a lot of folks out there that will say, oh well, never say never. So, and we must have been lucky. Alright? We must have been lucky. So, you get in a bind with ownership, and even if you're doing fair work, some folks still seek themselves getting in a bind of ownership, and then they have to find themselves in this fight saying, no, I'm only working with this to make fun of it, or to put it down, or to seek some wrong with it, or to talk about it. No, I shifted it out so it's not the same work as it was when it went in. And it's not like YouTube tells, not like you know what to say and what not to say when you have to fight all this shit. Knowing our luck, if something like that ever happened, and we seek to say no, this was all our work, It would be their word against our word. And we never got any of our stuff. We have ownership, but we never had it, which say we never had it lawful ownership. So anyone could say it was their work. But at the end of the day, we never go to work with anybody else's stuff. Because that's what happens. So after the whole thing went down, what happened with all of our leaners, we said, fuck it. We weren't doing it anymore. And that's just the way it's been. It's dolls or nothing, which is boring to some folks, but at least it keeps you, at least it shields you from ownership. When someone comes on and says, "Oh, I know you're doing fair work, but that's still my stuff." So yeah. And plus, Toei has been going around, going to other Sailor Moon fairways out there who have been putting out Sailor Moon stuff. And I can see if it was a full film or it was the full series, then yeah, okay, sure. But this is just going on when it comes to fair use. And of course, it isn't like when you have a speed, when you can, not like a speed limit or how fast you can go, and there's a little leeway. Well, with this, there's not. If you put something up, they want to go for 30 seconds. If it goes 31 by mistake or mishap, bam, that's their work, and you are the one who had wronged them. That's just how they see it as. So, hope you all are watching whoever's doing all their Sailor Moon things, and they have to do all that. You gotta make sure that you're going to go 30, because there's no leeway, not with them. So yeah. Plus, being frightened of ownership has always been a thing. Now, back in the day, being false flagged for not following followership oversight was a big thing, but being false flagged for not following ownership was a big thing and still a big thing. So it is what it is. Does fair work work? Well, yes and no. If you have some business or someone that follows that law, then yes, it works. If the one who's doing fair work is doing it in under the grounds that it's set up, then yes. But yes. But if you have some business out there that's being a jerk and just says, "Oh, you went over 30, F you," or just some business that didn't like what you did with their stuff, even though you were fair working it, then probably no. I'm Sailor Earth Ernest. Hope you like this film.